an opportunity to ask me some questions, and I don't want to keep the call too long or anything. Just make sure that you guys get a chance to ask me some questions, because I know how important it is to do interaction and opportunity. So we're gonna do some Q&As today. If you guys have any questions, it's gonna work a certain way. Okay, so just so you guys know how Q&As work on Mornings with Nano before we get started and we practice some gratitude. Okay, Q&As work very well. Super simple Q&As on Mornings with Nano. Okay, so number one, okay, you must raise your hand. All right, you got to raise your hand in order for you to ask a question. Most of the time I'm going to give you the opportunity to raise your hand, and you just raise your hand. That's number one. Number two, okay, camera on when asking question. All right, I'm not going to answer questions that people have their cameras off, because I want to be able to see you. I want to be able to meet you. So camera on when asking question. This is very key. Number three is, this is how it works. You have to say your name, your city, and one thing you like about Mornings with Nano. Okay, so for example, you'll go up there. What's up, guys? My name is Nano. I'm from New York City, and one thing I like Mornings with Nano is so on, and then you ask your question. All right, ask a question just so that I can see. The reason why I have people do that is because I want to know what city you guys are from, and I want to see where everybody's calling in from. All right, ask a question, and we want to keep everything within 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes per person, so we can be able to answer as many people as possible, because I know that there is more people out there. So number one, raise your hand. Number two, camera on when asking question. Number three is, let me know your name, your city, and one thing you like about Mornings with Nano, and then ask a question. And then we'll do 2 minutes per person, 2 to 3 minutes per person max. Okay, I usually do one male, one female. We'll do one female first, because I like to do ladies first. So it'll be one female, one male, one female, one male, one man, one woman, like that. Woman, male, woman, male, woman, male. All right. So feel free to ask me anything. Just make sure it's a respectful question, nothing crazy out of this world. But before we get started into it and we're all good, let's practice one thing that we're grateful for this morning. What is one thing that each and every single one of you guys are grateful for this morning? I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my mother, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughters, Dariana, and my other goddaughter, Navaya. I'm extremely grateful for my health, the roof over my head. I'm grateful for all the amazing people in my life. I'm grateful for you guys' time, for sure. Yes, I appreciate that. I'm grateful for Katie. I'm grateful for my team and all the leaders in my organization. I'm grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano community. I'm extremely, extremely thankful for the mentors that I have in my life. I'm grateful for the food that we ate yesterday, the time that we got a chance to spend yesterday. And just grateful for all that's happening in my life, guys. So let's get this call started. It is 10:30 here a.m. Eastern time. We could run this Q&A for 30 to 45 minutes, nothing crazy, and then we'll wrap it up from there. All right, so let's start up the Q&A. We are live, we are ready to go, and let's see who has raised their hand. We'll start with ladies first. We'll start with my sister Lorraine first. Okay, so I'm gonna make you co-host. You'll be able to unmute yourself, and there you go, sis. Talk to me.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So my name is Lorraine. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And one thing that I love about Mornings with Nano, first of all, I'm just so grateful for you, is that every single time I get on, there's something applicable to my life that I can do that same exact day. So thank you so much. The information that you share always just helps me, and you don't understand like the impact that you had on my life, even just this past 2 weeks of coming on every single day. So thank you so much. And
I appreciate that.
when I seen you put Q&A, I just started writing a bunch of questions. This is my first one, so I was like, okay, let's go. So my question is, and sorry if I'm breathing hard, I'm at the gym. What is the best way to help someone like create a vision in their life, especially when it's somebody who's never been exposed to like that type of thinking before? Like what is like the first steps in doing that and helping them create a vision for their life?
That's a great question, and thank you so much, Lorraine, for jumping on the last 2 weeks, and I'm glad that I've been able to make an impact in your life with that. But something I've learned about helping people create visions, sometimes it's hard for somebody, like you said, who's never had those experiences, who's never had those, moments to create a vision. So what I've actually learned is you have to take it into your, like, you got to take it into your responsibility to show them what's possible, like make them realize like, yo, if you had a dream life, like what house would you want to live in? What car would you want to drive? What would be the dream amount of money that you would want to make? And maybe taking somebody on a drive to a rich neighborhood and showing them like, yo, look, this is what's possible. Taking them to the, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche dealership, showing them those stuff, like taking them to the mall and be like, yo, let's go to the Dior store. Let's go to the Louis V store. Let's go to the Gucci store. And, because when I remember the way I was given my vision, that was the way I was given my vision. Like I knew I always wanted good things and nice things, but it wasn't until they showed me what it looked like. It wasn't until I saw the houses. It wasn't until I got in the cars. It wasn't until I saw these people doing it. So sometimes what you want to do is you want to give them a taste of it first. Okay. You want to give them a taste. You want to show them the vision first. Like, yo, look, this is what's possible if we work hard. This is what's possible if we put ourselves in position. So sometimes you got to do it that way. And once you have that, you got to make them create the clear vision of what they want. Like see them like, okay, what's the key of what it is that you want? Okay, so this is the life you want, this is the house you want, this is where you want to live, this is how much money you want to have, how many kids you want to have, all of this stuff, and then put it on paper and then give them that vision that they can now work towards. Like give them a step by step now, because that's the thing too, because one thing is to set the vision, right? But okay, what is the vehicle that we're going to use to get to that vision? What are the steps that we're going to take? Because that was one thing with me. I knew I wanted those nice things, but it was like, man, now how do I get there? How do I buy that house? How do I one day drive that car? And then is making sure that you have that plan with it as well. So it's not just about giving them the vision, it's about giving them a plan and a vehicle that'll help them accomplish that. And I know that with the vehicle that we have, we're able to give people those things because people that have come from less than us have been able to accomplish those dreams. So showing them like, yo, look, this person did it, that person did it, this person did it, that person did it. These were the steps that they took. If you're willing to take these steps, it can also work for you as well. So it's about giving them the vision, showing it to them, like giving them a clear vision of it, create it, one-time thing, and then giving them a step-by-step plan on how they're going to be able to accomplish it. And I think that is important right there. And then being an accountable person. You got to be accountable. You got to be able to hold them accountable too. Like, yo, remember, we want that house. Remember, you want that car. Remember, you want to retire your family. It's super key. And also something that Coach Mo said, she said, get around people that already have those things is key. That is very, very key, because that did increase my belief system, always being around Matt, always being around Darwin, Jason Brown, Alex Morton. I'm like, yo, these are my friends. And like, look at how they live. Look at the cars they drive. Look at the dinners that they pay for. The proximity is very, very key. So, that's super important. I hope that was able to answer the question, Lorraine.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. Perfect. All right. Amazing. Okay, we're going to do Justin Reyes next. Justin Reyes, you are up, my brother.
All right, thank you so much, Nano. Good morning, everybody. First of all, my name is Justin. I'm 25 from Baltimore, Maryland. Can you guys hear me? Am I good? Is my connection good? Okay. So, yeah, my name is Justin. I'm 25 from Baltimore, Maryland. And one thing that I took from Morning with Nano was my morning routine. I'm 329 days strong right now, right? I'm 329 days strong, and some of the things that I applied on Morning with Nano for this whole year. You gave me a lot of insight, a lot of application that I can do every single day, if that's meditation, um, and other things. So those are some of the things that I took from Morning with Nano so far. And one question, I know you always say have an intentional question. This is not something really for myself, but this is for a question that I know for a fact some other people can take. But for people who haven't seen the success they want this year, what are some steps that somebody can take, some action they can take um, for this final month of the year?
That's a great question. And first off, I just want to say, bro, congratulations, bro. You're a savage. The fact that, you know, you've been going for that amount of days. I can't wait to see how much more you're gonna grow. The seeds that you've planted, the seeds that you've sown, man, you're about to reap some incredible benefits from it, you know, in 2023, man. So Justin, shout out to you, bro, for real. That's amazing. But when it comes to someone who hasn't accomplished what it is that they've wanted this year, and how can they, you know, set themselves up not only for this last month, but also going into 2023, I always tell people evaluations are always the most important things that you can do. Self-evaluations are key, you know, and sitting down and asking yourself the 3 questions. Like, I promise you, Justin, those 3 questions can really change everything for you. I've done it multiple times where, you know, I've sat there and I've been like, okay, Nano, you haven't accomplished what you want the first 90 days of the year or the first 6 months of the year. You know, for someone who's going to do it now, they're going to have to sit down and ask themselves like, hey, why haven't you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish this year? And what you want to do is you want to take account of the 3 questions, right? What are they? Number one is what have you done well this year, right? What did you do well this year? Okay, what were some things that you did well? Well, you did so and so. For example, you would be a perfect example of somebody that you did your morning routine well this year. You know, you did it the whole entire year for the most part, you know. So, you know, you've done that very well this year. Okay. So, you know, that's something that you would put down, you know, whatever else you did well this year, you would do that. Now, the question that's going to make the biggest game changer is the second question, which is what haven't you done well? Because what you haven't done well is what's stopping you from getting to that next level and from not accomplishing your goals. Okay. So this is where somebody has to sit down and be real with themselves. Yo, what haven't I done well this year? Well, I haven't gone to the gym this year. I haven't studied enough this year. I haven't, you know, built enough relationships. I haven't invested into myself this year. Like, you have to really sit there and look back through all the year. I mean, through all the months. You know, I didn't wake up on time every day. I wasn't intentional. I wasn't doing morning routines. Like, really sit there. I didn't ask for enough help. I didn't read enough books. I didn't write my goals down enough. Like, these are the times now where you have to sit down and be honest with yourself, because if you know that successful people read and you're not reading, well, that's something you're not doing well. If you know that, you know, Nano writes his goals down twice a day, morning and night, and you're not doing that, then you know that that's something you're not doing well, right? So you have to be able to be, you know, aware of what there are the things that you're not doing well. Did you post enough content this year? You know, did you do enough reels? Did you go IG live enough? Did you step out of your comfort zone? Like, you know, what were the things that you did well? Yes, but you have to sit down and be honest with yourself. What were the things you didn't do well? You know, what were those things? And be truthful and be honest. And no one's going to see this but you. It's not like you're going to go on Mornings with Nano and show it to us or post it on your story or show it to your friends or your family. This is just this is just for you. This is your own self-evaluation. Those self-evaluations, I can tell you honestly, they've changed everything for me, Justin, honestly. And then once you sit down and you ask yourself all of that, and you know what you didn't do well, then you're gonna ask yourself, what improvements am I going to make moving forward? And most of your improvements will be made based off of what you didn't do well. So if you didn't wake up on time was one of the things you didn't do well, now that's going to be one of your improvements. If you wasn't reading enough, wasn't the things that you didn't do well, now reading is going to be one of your improvements. If you didn't write your goals down every day, now writing your goals down every day is going to be your improvement. And what you want to do is you want to take all the things that you weren't doing well and turn them into strengths, turn them into improvements in your life. And that's what I would say for anybody that has not accomplished what they want to accomplish this year. Maybe, look, I sometimes say this, maybe it can get accomplished in the next month if you do it for 30 days straight. Maybe you have to pay off a lot of debt, and maybe it may take you 90 days. Maybe it may take you 6 months. But wouldn't you want to start paying it now so that when it comes around, whenever you do, pay off your debt, whenever you do pay off whatever it is that's required, it does come. What you don't want to do is continue to wait and continue to follow this, because what happens is, Justin, is most people don't make the adjustment. And what happens is they'll repeat what they did in 2022 and 2023. And that's what will happen just like that, because look at it was just felt like just the other day we started this new year. And look, it's already November, it's already Thanksgiving. Next thing you know is Christmas and the year's over. So you just want to make sure that you sit down and you do a real true evaluation of yourself. And I think that would be the best way for you to, really, really change what you want the rest of the year to look like, but also going into a new year for that to change. So I hope that was able to answer your question, Justin. Thank you so much for asking that. I'm sure a lot of people needed that.
Yes, thank you, Nano. I really appreciate you. You're a big inspiration to myself.
Thank you, fam. God bless you, bro. Okay, we're going to do Maya next. Maya Wentz. Maya Wentz is next.
All right. Oh, I'm Maya. I am from Pensacola, Florida. I just moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm so blessed and grateful to be able to speak to Nano over the phone one day about a month ago. I'm sure you remember me. I was having trouble doing the whole Cash App thing. But anyways, I just want to say that the whole Mornings with Nano has changed my perspective, the way I've been thinking. It got me, I feel like I'm now afloat from being underwater of just this lack mindset. So just shout out to you. So grateful for you. You're heaven sent. And I wanted to ask, what do you recommend as far as like planning out for the new year? Because I know you're saying a lot of your mentors tell you they got their whole 2023 planned. How do you go about planning for the new year and each month and what you want to accomplish?
Well, that's a great question. Let me spotlight myself again here. Thank you for that amazing question, by the way, Maya. I'm grateful and I'm glad that you were able to hop on. The problem with that question is it depends on the person as well. That's the thing. You see, the reason why my mentors are able to plan out a whole year in advance is because they already have a ton of events that they have to be at. They have tours that they have planned. They have, so many things. So, for example, for me, it's the same thing now. Like before, I didn't understand how because I wasn't as busy as them. I wasn't as, I wasn't needed as much as they were. Right. But for me, I'm needed a lot more now. So I know I'm going on tour, to start the month of February. So I know I have a lot of February already planned out. I know I have to be, for example, in Rotterdam in March. We're going to the Netherlands. I'm going to be there. I know that. I know I got to be in Orlando as well in March as well. So that's going to be towards the end of the month. Okay. In January, for example, I just got invited to go out to Sweden. Okay. So I'm going to be out in Sweden. I have so many other things planned out. I have, there's so many things. For example, in January, I also got to be in Miami for the Break the Code event with Alex Morton. So that's another thing. So there's a lot of things that I have already like in my schedule already planned for like the first, I would say 6 months. Like I told you guys, I don't have my whole year, but I have the first 6 months for the most part already planned out for the most part. All right. So it's about taking what I already have like mandatory that I gotta be at, kind of putting it in my schedule. That's kind of like I saw what they did. So they take like the mandatory things that they have to do, like the tours and the events and the so on and so forth. And then they create schedules in between of certain things that they got to do. So I know, for example, let's say I know I have to be in Switzerland the 14th. Okay. So I got to be in Switzerland. When is it? Let me make sure. No, not Switzerland, Sweden. I have to be in Sweden, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's the 14th. So I'll probably be there 14, 15, 16, for example. And then I have to be in Miami the 20, the 21st, and the 22nd. So I got to find out what I'm going to do the week of the 23rd through the 27th, because then the week after that, I go on tour with Mina. We're going to do a tour, me and Mina, Share the Love tour. So there's just like it's a little bit difficult depending on like what your schedule is like and what your availability is like. But what I would do is I would start to pick and choose, like, what are some things that you want to do this year? Like, what are some things that you want to accomplish this year? What are some of the events you have to be at? Like, for example, I got to be at the influencer experience, event in Orlando, February 3rd and February 4th. That's something I got to be at, so it's about finding out the events and the circumstances that you're going to have this year and planning around those things. So like putting them in your schedule. This is something that I'm going to be at. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And then prepare and plan accordingly in between those dates, because I don't always want to be on the road, trust me, I don't always want to be on the road. Like, I got to plan in my moving date too as well. Like, I'm trying to figure out when I'm gonna move in. I wanted to move in at the beginning of the year, but then it's like I'm looking at my schedule and I'm like, bro, I don't even have a date for me to move in, and I don't even have a date for me to move in January. So I'm gonna have to push it to February. And then I'm looking at February, and February is almost stacked up to the top, and I'm like, man, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to move in February, because I'm just traveling so much, and I'm like, I don't want to move in and be traveling all the time. So I'm wanting to figure out what's going to be the right time for me to move in, because I still don't even know the right move-in date that I'm going to move in. So I'm moving back to Miami. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's like it's a little bit different for me than it would be for you. I don't know how busy you are, how many events you're going to, if you are going to any of these events. But my best advice.
Are you using Google Calendar?
No, I'm actually
I'm
using one of the bigger calendars actually for this, so I could be able to see it, because I need something that I can see, and then I'll kind of include them into my Google Calendar. So I bought like one of those big calendars that you can kind of put on your board, and then
love that.
Yep, and then I'm kind of like planning it around that, putting down the special dates that I have to be at, and then planning accordingly in between. So I'll be honest with you, this is the first year I'm gonna do it. I'm 5 years in the game that I'm going to plan my whole year in advance. It took me some time because I was never that busy. I was always at home grinding, wanting to get to the point where I was like that, but it's not always, I think it takes time for you to be able to plan a whole year in advance. And you got to make yourself extremely, extremely busy for you to plan a whole year in advance. You got to, and then people need you too. Like, there's people that need me in June. There's events that are happening in June that people need me for. Like, the Mornings with Nano retreat, we're planning it around that time. My team retreats. Like, there's a lot of things happening over the summer that, I already know that I'm going to be needed at. So it's going to be dope. So, I'm super busy, so I don't want you to think that, it's not that I can't give you the exact answer, but if you are busy, and you have a lot of, plans and events and, seminars and stuff that you got to go to, now you'll know, like, okay, and then you're able to plan and work around those things. So that would be my best advice that I can give you, because like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years, and this is the first year that I can honestly say that like my first 6 to 7, 8 months are planned out already. The only thing I don't have planned out is the next year fall. I don't have next year fall planned out yet, but I have probably from January to like July, August already planned out on paper for the most part.
Love that. Thank you so much, Nano. I got the takeaway that just to put it on paper, like, as you can see, I got my vision board, but just go ahead and write it out, because, technology can't be, it could mess up. But anyways, thank you so much for that answer. And feel so blessed to be able to speak to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I got to do these more often for the fam, for sure. Thank you so much, Maya. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Let's go with the next person. We got a guy next. Let's do my guy, David Bonilla. I'm going to make you co-host. There you go. And we are going to spotlight you, bro.
All right. Can y'all hear me? Hello, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Good. All right, bet. I'm at a coffee shop right now, so I don't want to be too loud. But I'm from Arkansas. My name is David, and let's see what's the other thing. And one thing I like about Mornings with Nano is really you just open my eyes, bro. You open my eyes to reality, what life really is. And I'm beyond grateful because I was lost in the sauce before I even hopped on. I've been tapped in with you since December of 2019. And it's like, man, every time I hop on, and it's sometimes it is the same information, but every time I hear it, it's like, man, something else clicks, and I'm like, okay, this stuff gets addicting, and I can't stop growing. So it's been good, man, and I love it. And
Thank you, bro.
my question. So whenever we started reading The Power of Awareness, I haven't stopped reading it. I'm still highlighting things. I'm still going back and over and really just digging deep into the information. And the one thing, I mean, I'm still implementing, always implementing. And the one thing that has really stuck out to me is the power of sleep, the power of going to sleep, and really just, living in the wish fulfilled before you go to sleep. So I've been doing that before I go to sleep. I write down my goals, and then I sit down and pretty much pray, and then I pray Bob Proctor's 8-hour affirmation, where he talks about money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis, and I'm listening to that each and every single day while I'm going to sleep, and I can feel the difference. When I wake up and I'm just like, yo, today's gonna be a good day, and it's like I'm in such a flow right now. But I still want to know, like, how does that stuff work? Like, how does it work to where, like, we can, like, whenever, obviously our mind is still awake. Whenever we're asleep. But how does that stuff work so we can do that, and then we're actually like manifesting our reality?
Well, that's a phenomenal question, bro. That's something that I've done a lot as well, which is a lot of the subconscious impressions is what you're talking about, because when you start to practice this, remember, it's a lot of work, and it all depends, it's different with every person too as well. That's the thing that, we're all different. So, and we've all been through different situations, different circumstances. We all have different limiting beliefs. We all have different work ethics. It's a lot of, moving parts that will determine, how fast you're able to manifest something and everything. But what you're doing is amazing, because what you're doing is you're impressing your subconscious mind while you're sleeping, that money comes to you and, in abundance and all of these great things. Because I also listen to the Bob Proctor affirmations ones that you're talking about. And the key with that is not just what you feed your mind before you go to bed, because you're doing the right subconscious impressions in your mind. Okay. But remember, it's not about just what you impress, it's about what you express every day as well. So you can't say mixed signals. All right. You can't tell yourself that, before you go to bed, I have, an increasing amount of, money quantities. I forgot exactly how it goes. I'm so happy and grateful now that
It comes to me in increasing quantities to multiple sources on a continuous basis.
Yep, there it is. So you say that to yourself, but you can't go ahead and wake up the next day and complain about money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't wake up the next day and look at your bank account and let your bank account, make you sad, or, because now, you just impressed into your subconscious mind that, money comes to you in increasing quantities through multiple streams of income. And then, you're complaining about the fact that you don't have enough money for bills, as an example. You can't do that, because now you just you said you wanted this thing to go to bed, but then when you wake up, you're thinking this, so that wouldn't work. So what you want to make sure is that what you're impressing in your mind before you go to bed, it's also what you are impressing in your mind throughout the day as well. And that's very key. And on top of that, it's always the work as well. You got to put the work in. And it's the work is, remember, the work is what shows faith. Remember, work is faith. So the fact that if you really believe that money is coming to you in increasing quantities through multiple streams of income, then you got to go out there and create those, multiple streams of income. You got to go out there and find ways. And the good thing is you're a part of a business that gives you access to multiple streams of income through building the business, through trading, through, e-commerce, through crypto, through all of these different things. So you have the vehicle to do it, David. It's just, are you putting in the work each and every single day in order for that to be a reality for you? Are you waking up every day with 100% unwavering faith that you are creating multiple streams of income? You do have a trading account that's making you money weekly. You do have a business that's coming in, and remember, even if it's $150, $600 a month that you're making, it's still multiple streams of income. Because think about it, you spoke it, you're impressing into your subconscious mind, money is coming to me in increasing quantities through multiple streams of income. Well, guess what? If you're making money through, for example, building the business, let's say you're making $600 a month through the business. You're trading and making money through the business. And let's say you have an e-commerce store also making you money. That's 3 streams of income right there that's coming to you. Now, it may not be in abundant quantity, but it's working towards that. You're in the process now of creating that, and it's doing it every single day until it becomes a reality. For example, one of the things that I impress into my subconscious mind, it's $100,000 a month, but I already know how I'm going to make those $100,000 a month. Okay, I know through what avenues. Okay, I got this, I have that, I have the business, I have trading, I have this side business, I have credit, I have all of these different things that I'm able to create that streams of income. And it's just now working it and having 100% faith that it's going to work. Now, I don't know exactly how it's going to happen. I don't know which one is going to give me what. Like maybe this one may give me 20,000. This one may give me 30,000. This one may give me 50,000. But it's just about having that faith and working it. Because it's one thing to just subconsciously impress your mind, but it's another thing to wake up and do the work each and every single day. And I think that's where sometimes people mess up, is that they don't put the work in and they're not aware of what they're speaking on a day-to-day basis that may be going against them. And I think that that's the difference right there.
I love it. So like I said, I've been tapped in with you since December of 2020. And ever since, I've been applying, really just trying to understand the information. And now I'm to a point to where I feel like I've been doing it for so long, like my thoughts are really different. They're not, the same thoughts that I would have whenever I was going through things and stuff like that, my point of view and everything. So really just implementing it now, I start seeing that things really are flowing my way because I've been doing it consistently, and now I'm just a whole different person, but I appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna always be tapped in, I'm locked in, and much love, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for sharing that. And like I said, bro, keep going. Maybe you need, 2 straight years of subconscious impressions. Maybe you need 3. Sometimes we don't know sometimes we don't know how many days, how many weeks, how many months of, work we need in order for us to change. So, for me, I'm still working on it. Think about it. Like, these are things I'm still working on. And, I'm 5 years in the game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still not exactly where I need to be. So think about that. Like, let that be something, a perspective shifter. Like, yes, have I created great results for myself? Have I created an incredible amount of experiences for myself? Yes, absolutely. But even though I still am not where I want to be at, so it's like, I'm still working on these subconscious impressions. I'm still, every day working on my faith. I'm still like waking up on Black Friday, on Thanksgiving Day, the day before, and still putting in the work to, develop myself. So just know that it's going to take time and it's going to take work, fam. And that's the truth. So we're going to do my sister Ashley next.
Hello, family. How are you guys? I hope we're all having a blessed day today. I just want to say my name is Ashley. I am 21 years old. I am a mama to a beautiful baby boy. I'm from New York City. And first and foremost, I really want to thank you, Nano, for, spending those 3 days with you in Jersey has honestly changed my life. Doing the morning routine with you ever since then, I have been very consistent with it, and I have felt a difference within myself spiritually as to doing that yoga, just to relax your mind. And from all of that, I really gained a lot of like you said, it's really about the personal development. And with that being said, the other day I was on a call with Kareen, and she was actually doing like a little ritual of like how to let go of things. So during that time, I wrote 2 full pages of everything that like I reflected on myself. On the past years, a cycle I've just been going in, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, just like everybody here. So I really took that step, and I just started writing to myself, all the bad habits that I want to let go, all of the negative that I want to let go. And I have been implementing a lot of self-love. That gratitude audio that you sent yesterday, I've been listening to that on replay. Thank you so much for that. And also, my question to you is, hold on, what helps you keep that tunnel vision when you're in go mode and flow state? And I've been really applying everything that I've been learning. So I just really want to know, like, how do I really block, when I'm home studying, I hear my mom and my dad saying, oh, you've been studying so much and you still haven't gotten anything. But in reality, I know that God is working within me, and I know that it takes a process, and everything is going to come in the long term. But what I'm really focusing right now is really on my personal development, and I feel like that has helped me so much. So what is it like you recommend to really keep yourself in that really tunnel vision? Question.
That's a great question, and I'm glad, and thank you so much, Ashley. I'm glad that we I'm glad that we did that morning routine so you could have seen how it's done, and it was awesome. And I'm glad that you've been applying it, and I'm glad you've been doing the gratitude, because in reality, that morning routine that I did with you guys, that's the morning routine I did. Like, I did it in the park, obviously, and it was a little bit more modified, but that was a morning routine I did that helped me make all the money that I have today, everything, all the success. I just did it every day consistently. So if you do that, I know for a fact you'll get to the next level. But the way you keep that tunnel vision, especially when you have parents, because the same thing that your parents are doing to you, they did to me. Like, my mom would be mad when she would see Amazon boxes come, because she knew it was just another book. She like, all these books, you buy all these books, but where's the money? Where's the money? Like, I don't understand all this work, and you're home all day and you're on your laptop, but I don't see the money. You're not giving me no money for bills. And I was like, damn, it was hard. But something I learned was is that just because you don't have the results in the physical does not mean that you haven't made progress in the spiritual. Okay, make sure you understand that. That's something that a lot of people mess up on. I'm gonna repeat that again. Just because you don't have results in the physical does not mean that you haven't made progress in the spiritual. Okay, sometimes spiritual progress is a lot better than physical results, because the spiritual progress takes time to develop. Okay. Remember, you have to work in the dark when nobody, these times is when it's hard. So for example, all those years, okay, all those, like, think about it, Ashley, I put in 2 years of spiritual work before I started seeing real physical results. So, like, that's what I tell people is like, and guess what? I had to do it through the things that you're going through the tough times, through my business falling apart, through people that joined my business that I had their back and I did everything for them to turn their back on me and backstab me, and my parents talking down on me, and my parents telling me to go get a job. And I had to work through all of those things. And like you said, keep that tunnel vision, because everything that I said, all right, I may not have the results in the physical yet, but I do have them in the spiritual, because when I would close my eyes and do the visualization, I saw it. I saw it clear as day. I'm like, yo, I see it. So I know it's there. I just now have to manifest it in the physical. And just because my mom doesn't see it, my dad doesn't see it, my friend, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it is doesn't see it, remember, the vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. So you got to keep the vision clear. Okay, even though this person is talking to the right, I'm not going to pay attention. Even though this is happening to the left, I'm not going to pay attention. My goal is here. And it's about realizing that people are distractions and situations are distractions, but still working towards that vision. That's how you keep the tunnel vision, is being aware, like, okay, this person talking like that about me is trying to distract me. This situation that just arose in my life is a distraction. Whatever is happening outside of you that is not helping you go towards your goals is a distraction. So you have to realize that. You have to see that. All right. So I would see those things. I would be like, damn, this person left my business. That seemed to distraction. I gotta stay focused and keep working towards my vision. My mom and dad said this, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna still stay focused right here. Like, and it was about, even though all of those things were happening around me, it's like I always teach, staying calm during the storm. I mastered staying calm during the storm, because going through the storm is a hard thing, and being able to stay in the vision and stay in the tunnel, like you said, even though the storm is going on to the right and to the left and behind you, you'll be good. So what my best advice for you is, keep doing that morning routine, keep staying solid, because the more that you do it, the more that you practice that visualization, the more that you really see it, the more you're going to believe it. And it's not going to matter what anybody says. I always told, one of my favorite things that I told Chele, that Chele always appreciates me for, I always told him, I said, it's not your job to get others to believe in you. Your job is to believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself and everything else manifests and everything comes into the physical, then everybody becomes a believer. Because look, my mom wasn't a believer, but now she's a believer. My dad wasn't a believer. My friends weren't believers. My teammates that I went to school with weren't believers. All of those people weren't believers. But guess what? Now they're all believers. Now they all love me. Now they all appreciate me. Now they all support me. Now they're all rooting for me. But 3 years ago, it wasn't like that. So you have to remember that and realize that, like, yo, no one is going to believe in Ashley right now. Nobody. You're the only one that needs to believe in you. I got you. I believe in you, but you gotta treat it like, yo, nobody, like, I'm the only one that believes in myself, and that's it. And until it becomes a reality, and you use that as fuel, Ashley, like, all right, yo, y'all don't believe in me, but let that fuel you. Let that be the reason why on a morning when you don't want to wake up and do your morning routine, let that be like, you know what? They don't believe in me, so I gotta go do my morning routine. I gotta read this book. I gotta go to that event. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Right. And those things, I would use all of those things as fuel, because hearing my mom tell me, like, oh, that business is not gonna work, I'm be like, I'm gonna show her it's gonna work. You don't think I got money for bills? You're gonna see. I'm gonna pay for all the bills. You're gonna see. And it was that, and I would use that for me to, really, really run it up. And I hope that was able to answer your question.
I appreciate you so much. That is literally exactly what I'm going through. And, on the days where I don't feel like doing anything, I hear them in the back of my mind, get like, you're just studying and getting nothing. And it's just like, it's okay. Because I know where I'm going. I know that internally, God is working within me. I may not see it right now, but I know like you said, trading and all that's going to come. You really got to work on yourself. And I've really been going crazy on personal development, and I really just suggest all that to you guys. One thing that I have been doing that I do want to share is that I've been listening to millionaire affirmations before going to bed. But before doing that, I have been really looking on Pinterest at pictures of the lifestyle that I want. So like, it's so crazy because after I did that, like I had dreams of you talking to me. I've had dreams of me and KD walking the stage, like the dreams after visualizing what it is that like I actually want, and then just going into peace, waking up in the morning, those negative thoughts aren't there. So I just wanted to share that. And I thank you so much, Nano, for really being that servant leader, really, just going out there and really doing it for us and allowing us, people like all of us, to really go for it, no matter what it is that you're going through at home, all those negative thoughts, stay in that tunnel vision. But thank you so much. I appreciate you, Nano. No,
and look, and I also want to recommend you what I do before I go to bed. Now, this is what I do before I go to bed. I listen to this one right here. Create $3 Million While You Sleep, Neville Goddard's VIP guided meditation. This one is unreal right here. I listen to it every night before I go to bed. And it's like, it's a story, but he breaks it down.
Welcome to the Elmer O. Locker Jr. channel.
And the good thing is like it's a visualization for like I forgot for like 10 minutes, and then it continues and it lets you sleep. So it starts giving you affirmations as you're sleeping. Let me see. You're able to hear. You'll hear them as they go. They kind of like go silent for a little bit, and then it starts talking to you. You are a millionaire. Everything does work in your favor.
11.
Yeah, but he has a fire as visualization around, I think it starts about 7 minutes. Around 7 minutes it starts.
Wherever you're residing, wherever you're laying down or sitting down, I want you to consciously release that location. With your eyes closed, I want you to release that. And in its place, I want you to sense and feel that you are on an ocean liner in the great Atlantic. You are.
Yeah, he goes into it, yo, and I've cried so many times during this one because during the visualization, he says, think about the two most important people in your life coming to you and hugging you and telling you how proud they are of you because you did it and you accomplished it and everything that you ever wanted in life, yo, and you literally feel the waves going down your body and you're like, oh my God, like, yo, it feels so real. And it's like, yo, I'm telling you guys, like, yo, it gets real. Let me see if I could find a little bit of it real quick. I want
contemplating the joy that would be yours from the server, and you feel the glass. Actually, you can feel it. You grab the glass and feel it, and you take a sip. Two of your
listen,
close friends or family members, your choice. You create them in your mind now. Who is it going to be?
Listen.
Create their faces. Create their walk, their body language. Make them real as they're walking up to you, two of them. And they're excited to see you. They look at you like a superstar, like a movie star, like a royalty. They're looking at you like you are the most famous person on the planet. They're walking up to you.
Listen.
You can see the joy and the love in their eyes for you.
Facts.
And how happy they are for you. And they walk up and they say, I'm so proud of you, so happy for you.
Ashley, I'm so proud of you.
Now that you have everything that you ever wanted, you did it. You did it. You did so well. You created the life of your dreams. You now have it.
Yo.
And I want you to sit up from your deck chair. Stand up from your deck chair.
And yo, he keeps going, bro. He really makes you feel like you're there. Like he really makes you feel like, yo, I did it. Like it's true. Like you are the most hopeful person in the world. You accomplished it. You lived the life of your dreams. And I see myself like, yo, and every night before I go to bed, I listen to that. Right? Every night I go to bed, I listen to that. And I'm telling you, Ashley, you're going to have moments where you're going to cry and you're going to see it. And every day is just going to get more and more and more and more clear. And you do that every night, sis, and you fall asleep to it, you wake up, I'm telling you, it's going to be game changing. Guaranteed. So I hope that was able to help.
Thank you so much, Nano. I appreciate you and many, many blessings.
Thank you, fam. I appreciate you as well. We'll do two more. I'm gonna do my brother Zion real quick. Let me do Zion. There you go, bro.
Good morning, family. Good morning. How's everybody feeling? Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Spent some time with some family, so it was amazing. My name is Zion, like Neno said, 23 years old. To my, also a father to my handsome son. One thing that I take from Mornings with Neno is that it gave me a lot of clarity about myself in times where I didn't really know myself. And just put a lot of perspective on how powerful I truly was as an individual and how I can help somebody else, see the betterness in themselves as well too. And that was like everything for me, right? But that my question would be to you, is I feel like first of all that manifestation thing we just listened to that like answered all my questions right there. But in your truest defining moments of like reaching, pinnacle levels of success, because I feel like everyone glorifies like the success and making it to the top. Like that's the only thing we see. But we don't see those moments where it's like you don't believe in yourself, you don't see the vision anymore. It might be weeks, days, months where it's like, yo, F this. I don't want to do it no more. Right. But what have you learned about yourself in those moments to help you get to where you at right now?
Man, that's a phenomenal question, bro. There's so many of those moments too. That's the craziest part about it. I can't even tell you how many moments I've had where my faith was tested, how many times I was doubted, how many times I was challenged and put down, and obstacles that were put in my way. But what I realized is that honestly, bro, without any of those moments, nothing that is happening today would be possible, bro. Nothing. And if I could go back to all those moments where I was going through those things, like before, when I would go through it, I would complain. Like I would complain and I would be down and I let these things get the best of me, bro. Like, but when I look back and because, when you're in the situation, it's like, you're going through it, you're struggling, you're stressed out about what you're going through. But then when you get through it, you realize like, man, I had to go through that so I can be this person now. So after going through so many of those things, like I went through it one time, I saw it. The second time I saw it, third time, fourth time, I'm like, yo, every time I go through something, every time I go through struggle, challenge and everything, every time I get out of it, I become a better person. I grow into a better individual. I have more peace, more love, more everything in my heart. So then why is it that I complain so much when it's there? So what I started to do was I started to love the challenge. I started to appreciate them more. And something that Matt Rosa taught me, he said, bro, always look for the treasure in every challenge. Don't look for the challenge, look for the treasure. What is it wanting to teach you? What is it trying to teach you? What do you want to learn from it? What is the lesson here? There's a treasure in every challenge that you go through. It's about finding that treasure. Don't focus on the challenge. Don't focus on the obstacle. Don't focus on all the bad. Focus on like I Am Rich talked about in the chat. He said, look for the gold. What's the gold? Right? Because sometimes we spend so much time complaining about everything else and we forget that there's actually gold here. So he said, yo, always go look for the gold, right? Look for it, dig for it. Get rid of all the dirt. All the dirt is all the stuff you're going through, all the challenges, all the bad things that look around you. But I'm telling you, like, yo, if you sit down and your focus is getting to the gold, you'll always receive the gold from every situation, and you'll be able to grow out of all of those situations a lot faster than usual, because most people don't see the gold. They just focus on the dirt. And what happens is they attract more dirt because all their focus is on the dirt. They're focused on what's going on. They're focused on the problem, the situation, the circumstance, not focused on the lesson and the gold that can come out of this, the treasure that can come out of this. So what I start to do now, like, for example, I've gone through things, man, I've gone through stuff this month, right? You guys will never know because I'm always so happy. I'm always so excited because I focus on what's the gold, what's the treasure of this situation, what's the gold behind everything that, I've gone through in this situation. And that's what it's all about. I love my challenges, even though they're hard. And even still to this day, they're still hard for me, but I don't ever complain anymore. I never question God. And I just make sure that I always look for the treasure. And you know what's funny, Zion? I find it a lot faster now. And I'm in and out of challenges a lot easier now. Okay, because since I'm always going and looking for it, I'm always focused on just the treasure. I no longer focus on the dirt. I no longer focus on what's really happening. I focus on the lesson. Okay, what's the lesson? Let me focus on that. And remember, whatever you give your attention to is going to grow. So because I focused on the lesson, that lesson grows in my life and it overcomes all the BS that it's on the outside. So I'm able to get out of challenges fast, easy, with zero stress, zero challenge. And I'm able to go from challenge to challenge. Like it's almost like a game now to me. It's no longer like a stress. It's no longer like a overwhelming feeling. It's like, okay, what's the next challenge? Like I'm already ready for my next challenge. Okay. And as crazy as that sounds, but I'm already ready for it. I'm prepared. I'm like, okay, what's the next one? Okay. I can't wait to see what's the next thing I got to learn. What's the next book? And then the good thing is, and this is what happens too, there's going to be challenges that, for example, it's not going to be as easy to dig through to get to the gold. So there may be a book that you got to read. There may be an audio that you got to listen to. There may be a mentorship call that you got to do, and that's where now you start to become the student, because it's not that every challenge is going to come and, it's going to be easy to be positive. No, there's going to be, there's sometimes lessons that you got to learn about reaching out for help. There's going to be some times where you got to sit down and write down the goal for a whole month straight every single day so you can feel it. There's just going to be certain things that you're going to have to do to be able to see the gold, because just because you were able to get the gold one challenge one way, it may not be the same in the next one either. You're going to have to maneuver and actually figure out, okay, last time I was able to get the gold because I stayed consistent with my morning routine for 30 days. But maybe this time around, it's not going to be the morning routine that gets you the gold. They may have to be something else. And it's a game. It's about figuring out, okay, what's going to be the thing that helps me get that gold? You feel me? And that's super, super key. So I hope that was able to answer your question, bro.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you. Because this is like, conversations that some of us can't even have with 120 of our family members. It's 120 of us on Zoom. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a blessing to be in an environment like this. And, everyone's here for a reason. So never feel like, you guys can't accomplish the things that you set out to do. So Nano, man, you were a big part of my journey, bro. And I'm just glad to have, frequency with you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Much love for sure.
Appreciate you as well, my brother. We're going to do one more. I'm mostly picking people that never spoken on Mornings with Nano. Let me see. Replay spotlight. So we're gonna do. I've never seen Alana on here, so we're gonna do Alana. You are next up, sis. Alana Cunningham. And
what's good? Can everybody hear me? See me?
Yep. Let me replace spotlight. There you go.
Bet. All right. So my name's Alana Cunningham. I'm from Maryland, but I currently live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Nano, I've been tuned into you since April of 2020. I still remember the day that I hopped on everything. It was actually, I think it was like April 15th, 2020. I remember that day like nothing, because I knew I manifested you. It was crazy. But one thing I like about Mornings with Nano is that it always comes right on time. Like the messages always come exactly when I need them. I know when I tune in, I was like, yeah, I was meant to hear that. I was meant to hear this today. One thing I've learned from you is a couple things. But the things I've been applying mostly lately is pay attention to the signs and find the seed of opportunity in every adversity. Those are the lessons that have been like the most heavy for me to apply lately. But my question for you today is, I want to give a little bit of a backstory to it. I'm gonna try to keep it super, super short. So I was at church on Sunday, and my pastor was basically giving the message of, what are you called to do? Like, everyone on earth has a purpose. Everyone has a thing they're supposed to do. But sometimes we kind of get strayed and distracted, and we try to make our own decision that isn't what God had intended for us. And we can always tell when something isn't intended for us because it brings along a seed of confusion. Like, we may not feel peace with it, or it just doesn't go right. And I've been feeling that a lot lately. And so I was doing my morning routine the other day. And I'm doing my auto suggestion. I'm saying my goal in the mirror, and it's just not feeling right. I was like, it's something about this that isn't sitting right with me. So something in my head kind of just popped in my head, and I switched it. I switched my goal. And the second that I switched what my goal was, I like the amount of money I want to earn stayed the same, but the vehicle in which I get it is what changed in my goal when I was speaking it. And I instantly felt peace. I felt like, yes, this is it. This is the thing that's going to get me to the person I want to be. This is going to give me the lifestyle I want. And I instantly, I even felt focused, right? Like, I didn't feel like I had to, do this and do that. And I was like, no, like, tunnel vision, like everything else blindside, like in a spiritual sense. Like, I felt it. Everything else blindside, everything else cleared my mind. And all I had focus on was this. So my question is, how do you make that pivot once you know, okay, this isn't for me anymore? How do you make that? How do you go from doing what you've been doing, and then change that lane, even when the thing that you were doing was something at one point that you genuinely loved, or that you really thought was going to be the thing that took you where you wanted to go?
Man, that's a great question. Thank you so much for asking that, Alana. You know, sometimes in this journey, you know, you're gonna have things that, you know, you thought you wanted. And sometimes what happens is, you know, it could there's so many different ways to go about this. There's so many different scenarios that this can go about, because sometimes, you know, you may be focused on a certain amount of money that may be too far outside your radar, you know, or you may be focused on a rank, or you may be focused on certain things, but you said that the amount of money was the same, but just the vehicle, you know, changed. And what I would say is make the pivot, but make it intentionally. And make the pivot. And remember, one thing you do is always, and this is something that Alex Morton taught me. He said, the 3 ways to like put yourself in a great position is, number 1, you got to tell yourself it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. Yo, you just changed your vehicle. Okay, you changed your vehicle. The money is still the same. The goal is still the same. Just the vehicle is different this time. Okay, so it is what it is, number 1. Number 2, harvest the good. You know, what was the good that you got from the past vehicle? You know, what was it that, you know, you learned from it? What was it that you were able to acquire from it? What were the lessons? What were, you know, this is super key. You know, like you want to be able to take that. And now how are you going to apply that to this newer vehicle? Okay, because sometimes because you were, you know, going down the wrong vehicle or using the wrong vehicle, you know, even though it was the wrong vehicle, there was a lot of lessons there, and you learned a lot during that time. So it's about harvesting the good. Forget about the bad. Forget about that it wasn't the right vehicle, or what was good from it. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to forgive and you want to forget. Forgive yourself for taking that road and forget it. And now let's focus on this vehicle. How are we going to make the best out of this? And if you make that pivot fast enough, because this is the problem though, sometimes, Alana, people make the pivot, but they stay focused on, you know, the past experience that they had. So you can't fully pivot. Okay, you can't fully pivot until you are able to forgive and forget. Okay, so some people will pivot, but they're still focused on, man, you know, things were like this before, and this is how I used to be, and this is how this vehicle used to drive, and this is how this and this and this and that. But you want to make sure that you just let everybody know around you that you're making the pivot, you're doing what's required, and that you're ready to, you know, go all in over here. And at the end of the day, not everybody's going to be happy about it. Not everybody's going to agree with it. But the important thing is that you are happy about it. And I saw that Coach Mo asked a question: how do you keep your credibility when you switch vehicles? I think it's all through communication. You know, and I think that kind of goes hand in hand a little bit with what Alana is saying, because I know people that switch vehicles all the time, but the goal stays the same. I think it's proper communication. I think if you communicate with the person and you have integrity behind it, and if you don't do it behind somebody's back, and you communicate with the people that need to be communicated with, like, for example, the people that helped you, the leaders in the organization, and you let them know that it's nothing about them, you know, it has nothing to do with them, that just this doesn't align with where you want to go, and you believe that this vehicle, the one that you're going to switch over to, will be better for you, and that's what it is. And as long as you respect them and you don't try to convince others to come with your vehicle over there, and you just kind of do it yourself, people will always respect you and keep a lot of credibility for that. For example, you know, the person that I do my credit business with, right? He was once a huge leader in my organization, and he decided to pivot it. And he said, yeah, I no longer want to do this. I just want to focus on credit. But he communicated that with me. And when he left, it wasn't like he talked down on me on his way out. He didn't talk down on the company. He didn't try to take anybody from my team with him or anything. And still to this day, we have a relationship, and now we run a credit business together. But had he left and try to talk down and be like, oh, this and that, and never communicated and then things behind my back, he would have lost all credibility with me, and I never would have worked with him. So because he did it the right way, and he didn't burn the bridges, and he communicated and he had integrity, okay, I can still work with him. I still have that credibility, and I still am able to love him and appreciate him for that. So, you know, it's about doing it the right way always, okay? If you do it the right way, you're always good, because I love everybody. You know, whether you decide to do this with me or not, I love you regardless, because that's what I'm here on this earth to do. But I don't respect disrespect, you know, and I don't appreciate, you know, non-communication, because if I was to do something, I would want to communicate. But to continue with you, Alana, my best advice is when you pivot, like I said, it is what it is. Harvest the good and forgive and forget. That's it. Forgive and forget, and let's focus back on this. Take what you learned from the past experience or the past vehicle that you were riding. You know that it is what it is. Harvest the good, take that good, and now apply it to this vehicle. And I know that it'll help you a lot with that. That would be my best advice for that. I hope that helps.
That did. Thank you so much, Nano, for that. Like, honestly, like this season that I'm in right now, this is probably like one of the toughest seasons I've been in, because it's literally been back to back. You know how they say, like, when God's trying to send you a message, first he'll throw the pebble. When you don't pay attention to the pebble, he'll throw the brick. And then when you don't pay attention to the brick, he'll throw the whole brick wall at you. I feel like God really threw the brick wall, and he's like, all right, like, I've been trying to tell you it's time to go. It's time to go. Like, I'm actually literally, it's a season of transition. Like, I'm moving out of my parents' house. I just quit my job. I'm going full in on my businesses and everything like that. Like, it's literally just a season of transition. Like, my whole life is changing for the better, and I can feel it happening. But I really wanted to make sure that now that I'm doing things, I'm doing them intentionally, and I'm doing the things the way God wants me to do. Like, I've been reading The Purpose Driven Life lately, and I realized, like, okay, I can't keep doing it my way, because it's not for me. Thank you so much for your help with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, fam, for that amazing question. I know a lot of people needed to hear that. But guys, we're gonna wrap it up right there. It's 11:30. I actually have something we got to do with my little brother. I wish I could answer everybody's question, but you know, we'd be here all day. I wanted to give the opportunity to people who've never spoken on Mornings with Nano to be able to share some beautiful questions. So thank you guys so much for your questions, for always, you know, being here for us. Like, you know, this is amazing. And the fact that, you know, we're able to do this, I like to do this at least once a month, you know, Q&A at least once a month. I think it'll be dope, so I can be able to, you know, get to know you guys a little bit more, you know, answer some of your questions, like get more personal, right? Because sometimes, you know, I just jump on a call and we just do a training and that's it, you know, and we hop off the call, we pray, and we on to the next call. But, you know, I want to be able to jump on calls and give you guys more direct answers, because I know that we all go through different things in life. And, you know, we have certain situations in life that, you know, even though I may be training on them, you know, it may not give you the direct answer that you're looking for, you know, but with these Q&As, you're able to ask me a direct question, and, you know, we can help you out with that, guys. But with that being said, happy Black Friday. I hope you guys have a good one. If you're going to go shopping, be safe. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your days. We're going to follow back up on Monday. And with that being said, I'm going to do a quick prayer and we will get out of here, fam. Quick prayer. Everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for waking us up on this beautiful Friday morning where we get a chance to grow and elevate and become the best versions of ourselves. We had a great time with family yesterday, and I just want to thank you for allowing us to spend that time with family. I want to thank you for all the food that nourished our bodies, all the great conversations we had. Everything was just amazing, God. And we want to thank you for allowing us to spend that time with family, because we understand how important family is. We woke up this morning and we got right back to work, and we had some great questions. We had some great answers and just some amazing things all the way around, Father. So we just want to say thank you so much. Continue to guide us, continue to protect us. There's no one better than you. You continue to show us what's possible. You're making the vision clearer for all of us. You're opening up this path. You're showing us what vehicles we need to use in order for us to become the best versions of ourselves. And every day we just have nothing but 100% trust in all that you're doing for us. We are following you blindly because we know that you have nothing but the greatest intentions for us. And we appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts, God. So continue to guide us, continue to love us, continue to be there for us. And we will do the same in return, God. We love you. We appreciate you. Let's have a great weekend. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right, guys. So I appreciate you guys so much. I pray that you guys all have a phenomenal day filled with love, filled with abundance. Have a blessed weekend. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you guys probably already do. But if you don't, it's at Long Live Nano. And I also have at Mornings with Nano. And I see you guys all the way at the top because you guys already know that the bottom is way too crowded. Thank you guys so much for everything. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Let's